Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Dororo, episode 14. Just right off the bat, I want to say I know that this episode and next episode are a two-parter. I was told this. I am only doing episode 14 today. And the reason being, I'll make this clear right off the bat. The reason being is that I'm pre-recording this. On the day I'm pre-recording this, I also got through Monday and Tuesday's reactions. And at this point, it's just like, I probably don't want to record too much else. So we're just leaving it one episode, and we'll get to the next one next week. It might have been better to do the two-parter in one, but honestly, like, the episodes probably didn't release at once. They probably released 1 week after the other, so we're basically watching it as they were released. Which I'm fine with. Everything, that's just how we're gonna go with it for now. Like I had said before, with doing these weekly reactions now, most of them are just going to be one episode a week. Most of them are going to be like just done like that. Like the only reason She-Ra is 2 episodes a week and is going to be 3 on the final one, the only reason for that is because of catching up in time for Ruby. If we didn't want to catch up in time for Ruby, we would only be doing 1 episode a week. And the only reason One Piece is 4 is because we want to catch up on One Piece. It's like we're still quite a bit behind, so that's the only reason that's so many episodes. Because once we do eventually catch up with One Piece, it is only going to be 1 a week. So, yeah. And there, again, as I've said as well, there will be times when I want to do 2 episodes, but it's just like, this isn't one of them. Again, it's just, normally I would try to record the Tuesday stuff ahead of time because it's One Piece, you know. But I wasn't able to this time. I wasn't able to get to recording that the week before, like I did with the first week of these new scheduled reactions. But either way, it's fine. It's fine. So yeah. But yeah, we're doing 1 episode. So last time we had the episode with the stone carver. The stone carver, the artist who they ended up losing business and getting ridiculed, so they swore revenge, but died before they could finish this great statue they were trying to build behind a waterfall. The statue was possessed by a demon. The demon resurrected the statue carver, who then proceeded to use an ability given to them by the demon of shapeshifting to lure people to their deaths. And there's a lot of discussion through the episode about both Hyakimaru and Dororo's mother, specifically because the stone carver appeared to look and sound like Dororo's mother because of their ability and all. So yeah. It was heavy, but it wasn't the heaviest episodes we've had. Honestly, the backstory for Dororo was much heavier, but it was still pretty heavy. So we're getting another 2-parter like this soon after the mid-season finale. I don't know what to expect expect from it at all. I really don't know where this is going to go. Like, just the fact that we're having another 2-parter, like, again, this soon after the mid-season finale, it's like, why? Like, why? just why? I mean, I assume the reason is they couldn't get like the full story figured out for like 1 episode, so they just had to split it into 2. But still, it's just that seems like a lot. Two parters for like shows like this, I would think would be saved for bigger moments and all. But again, if they couldn't figure out how to get this story done in one episode, then it's like not really much to do. I mean, right? Um, so we'll just have to go with it and see what we get. So let's do so. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, yeah, this is clearly the first part of a two-parter. Um, and it's really interesting. So Dororo and Hyakimaru stumble upon a burnt down place and discover that there's oil, hinting that it was burnt down by someone. It wasn't just like a wildfire or some kind of lightning strike or anything. They end up being approached by Lord Sabame, the Lord of the Land, and he brings them back to his village, where he's revered and people love him, and he cares very much for the village and its people. And yeah, not too much else happens. They like get to tell some stories. They enjoy some food and some dance and stuff. But he ends up telling them, Lord Sabame tells them, that the building burned down was a orphanage, and that the nun who ran it was a piece of shit, honestly. Like, God, that kind of shit boils my blood. Like, or orphan kids need to be treated well. Like, kids in general need to be treated well, but especially orphan kids who don't have family to take care of them. Whatever system they happen to be in, if they're in an orphanage, if they're in foster care, whatever the situation be, they need to be properly taken care of with love and and respect and just care. And anyone like anyone running this orphanage, or again a foster parent or whatever else who treats these kids like shit, deserves fucking death. And it's like it pisses me the fuck off. And it's like the oldest thing I can remember of this kind of thing was like with the old comic that had a couple movie adaptations, Little Orphan Annie. Um, like I remember the old classic film that I watched growing up all the time with Carol Burnett as the uh, the woman at the orphanage who treated all the kids like shit, and it always angered me. And Carol Burnett did a great job, mind you. Like, she's just an actress fulfilling a role, and the character actually redeemed herself in the end. Um, and hell, I mean, even the more recent update to Annie with Jamie Foxx and everything did well at that too, where Cameron Diaz was the foster mother. Um, but every time I see this in like even in modern day, it pisses me off so bad. It did it with Mother Carmel in One Piece, and it's doing it here too. And the worst part, like I don't know whether it's worse in the situation of Mother Carmel or here, because with Mother Carmel, she was pretending to be nice to all these kids, while in secret selling them off into slavery and shit to the world government, which is so horribly fucked up and two faced. But then then there's this woman apparently. If this story he told is true, which I'm thinking it probably is. I think this dude is probably he's trying to do good. Um, well, I don't think the lightning strike is real, but the other stuff, like about the nun, I think that's real. Um, but the nun, it's like she probably was that horrible to where she was beating and mistreating these kids, and it's like I hate that kind of shit. So during the night, Dororo and Hyakimaru are attacked by a caterpillar demon. Um, and as Hyakimaru's fighting it, a moth demon comes and saves it. The moth demon ends up transforming into this woman who approaches the Lord, and he's like Lord Saban or whatever his name was again. And he's like, oh, I brought two basically sacrifices. Did the kids eat well? And it's like, I think it's very clear about her reaction at the end and everything that she's using him. I think she's using him and making him like do this stuff either to for the protection of the village or for some other reason. But I guess we'll find out next week. But yeah, it's just I'm sorry. This stuff about the nun really just that's what that got to me this episode, and it's on the forefront of my mind, even though it was just like a very short like explanation from him. It didn't. I don't even think it took up like a minute of time. It's still like child abuse in general always bothers the shit out of me and just again makes my blood boil. But especially when it's orphans or just those who are just already in bad positions in bad spots in life. Just it angers me even more because it's like I don't see how anyone could justify in any way being a nun, an orphanage worker, a foster whatever the fuck. I don't see how anyone could justify that while treating kids like shit. It's in every way morally wrong. It's in every way really fucked up and shitty. It's in every way evil. There is no positive to it. And the only thing that I can even think of that why anyone would do that is for their own selfish reasons. And it's like, how can they even try to fucking justify that? Like, how can anyone be that legitimately that selfish to where they think it's right to harm and ruin these kids' lives, to beat them, to in some cases, in some of these situations, kill them or sell them into slavery or whatever the fuck, whatever reference this kind of thing's done with or whatever. How can anyone justify that? How can anyone think about doing that and say, like, oh yeah, this sounds like a good idea because I get something out of it? I need to move on to something else. I can't. I can't. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I'm Connie. See ya.